welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. This past week on Sunday, the final college football playoff rankings were released. That means we now know who's in the playoff, we now know who's in the NY6 Bowls, along with all the other bowls. So today we're going to discuss the playoff rankings and the playoff just like we did last week, so sit back and enjoy. The top four consists of number 1 Alabama, number 2 Clemson, number 3 Ohio State, and number 4 Washington, meaning the playoff matchups will be Alabama versus Washington and Clemson versus Ohio State. I believe there was a little controversy surrounding the selection of the top four. Alabama, Clemson, and Washington all deserve to get in, I think, because they all won their conference championship. Ohio State, on the other hand, that's where the controversy came into play. Ohio State did not play for their conference championship. That was between Wisconsin and Penn State. Penn State won that game and beat Ohio State. So they were a one-loss Big Ten team, beat Ohio State, and won the Big Ten championship, and missed out on the playoff. They were ranked number 5 at the end of the season. Now, I know Ohio State beat Michigan, and their only loss came to Penn State, but at the same time, I don't know if Ohio State should have been in there, even though they were a one-loss team. I do find it ironic that in 2006, Ohio State head coach Urban Meyer said that if you are not playing for a conference championship or you win your conference championship, you should not be playing for the national championship. And I do agree with that, and I think it's very funny that Urban Meyer said that a couple years ago, and now here's his team, Ohio State, not playing for a conference title, not winning a conference title, yet they're in the playoff. I'm sure his mood has changed drastically on that statement. Washington, I do agree with them getting in there after beating Colorado, so it should be a very interesting playoff this season on New Year's Eve. Some of the NY6 Bowls I'm interested in are Western Michigan and Wisconsin in the Cotton Bowl, Michigan, Florida State in the Orange Bowl, and Auburn, Oklahoma in the Sugar Bowl. One thing I'm a little concerned about with the new playoff rankings is that Florida State was ranked ahead of Louisville, and therefore they are going to the Orange Bowl instead of Louisville. Keep in mind, week 3, Louisville destroyed Florida State, killed them by 70. So the fact that Florida State is ranked ahead of them, I really disagree with that because Florida State, on Florida State standards, has had a pretty disappointing season. I know I was bashing Louisville and the playoff committee last week about how they only dropped 2 spots after the loss to Kentucky, but with all the other teams that moved this week, they could have jumped a few more spots to be put in the Orange Bowl. I think that would have been a much better matchup, Michigan-Louisville to Michigan-Florida State. As for everybody else in the rankings, no one moved too much. Florida dropped only 2 spots after getting killed to Alabama. I do disagree with that. I don't know why you should play an SEC championship, get killed that bad, and only drop 2, but hey, it's the playoff committee, whatever. And then Tennessee moved 1 spot because that totally makes sense. Didn't play a game. Let's move them up 1 spot because we just love Tennessee so much. And, everybody else kind of stayed the same or maybe moved 1 or 2. Temple did move back into the rankings and jumped Navy after winning the AAC, American Athletic Championship. So I agree with that move. And it should be a pretty interesting bowl season with all these new rankings coming out and a lot of good matchups. So make sure to stay tuned for more predictions and analysis.